Claire, what grade are you in?
Right now I'm in 4th, but I'm soon going to be in 5th.
Good. I'm glad you know the future. That's perfect. Now, why are you excited to be here tonight?
Because I'm just excited.
Yeah. No other explanation. Now, I do believe, tell me the truth, is it true that your dad has a ringside seat but didn't get you guys ringside seats?
That is true, but it's because of his YouTube channel, okay? It's his YouTube, okay?
Her dad's an influencer. Let him go, guys. But your dad's awesome, right?
Yeah.
See, he's awesome. Yeah! Give it up for Claire. Thank you so much, Claire. High five. Yeah.
Can you believe that there are some people in this world that did not tune in to the Alliance Vlog podcast? Shame on you!
Shame on you. My name is Ella Envy, and I'm one half of the NWA Women's World Tag Team Champion.
And I'm Kenzie Paige, the other half of the NWA World Women's Tag Team Champion.
And you better go listen to the Alliance Vlog. What is it called again?
Podcast, period.
Or you're ugly. Pretty Empower approved.
Mi gente, you already know who it is. It's the radioactive Papa Danny Limelight, the United Wrestling Network World Heavyweight Champion. And make sure you tune into the Alliance Vlog every week. You heard it here first. Straight from Papa.
Hey guys, check this out. I am officially now sponsored by Dubby. Dubby is a clean energy drink made to give you focus with no crash. If you guys are like me, you're always needing a burst of energy, especially with one with no crash. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. It keeps me awake with no jitters, guys. Check it out. Merch link is in the bio. Dubby. It's me, but first, this. Oh, hey, we're live. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the pre-party presentation of Alliance-Wrestling.com, your number one source for news and information for the National Wrestling Alliance. My name is Jay Cal, and I come to you bearing no gifts whatsoever, but giving you thumbs up and saying, thank you for joining our program. I'm here every Tuesday to talk to you, that hashtag NWA fam, about the National Wrestling Alliance. It's my go-to. It's the thing I do mediocre at best. I don't know, man. I have fun doing this, and I hope you guys have fun being here. We like to create what I call that hashtag NWA fam, that family dynamic, that community for NWA fans who aren't particularly thrilled with the status quo. We're here to talk NWA because we want the NWA to succeed. We want it to be better. And we always are here cheering for the NWA to take that next step to be the greatest wrestling promotion on the face of God's green earth. Can I get a hallelujah? Maybe not even a hallelujah, but maybe just hope everyone is doing well. It's been a crazy week, man, and I hope that you guys are having a good one. Man, I'm all over the place because I was trying to look up something real quick, and now I look stupid looking for it, but all the same, we're here. So yeah, let's get to it, right? Let's get to it. You guys are silly. So let's see. I got my pals in the chat. I'm also streaming right now on TikTok. So if you're on TikTok, I am streaming live right now there, but this is actually the preferred method of watching. You get the full, not 3D, the full 720 DPI, the high resolution. You get the full screen. You get to see my arms wave frantically when I'm talking. But I do want to say what's up to everyone in the house. Of course, we got Mike, Medium 5, Jeremy Wrestling with the MMA, K-Fabe Soups, we call him Heebs here. Heebs is here. The Great Hisa's here. Terry McDermott's here. Willie Bowen's here. Laying Bricks is here. And you guys are Heeb says, wife told me to make a TikTok too. You know, the thing about TikTok is all right, I'm going to be completely honest here, full transparency. Part of the reason why I've been on Instagram and TikTok is, one, I'm trying to grow my channel, my presence, these videos, these podcasts, really the website. At one point, I was hoping to make this into some sort of a side gig, something that makes money. And I'll be completely honest, I haven't had a lot of success with TikTok, nor have I had a lot of success with Instagram. My follower count on Instagram is less than 1,000, so it's hard for me to get real excited about that, which is weird because I do take a lot of photos and videos that I share on Instagram. It just hasn't been a place for me to grow. TikTok, I do have over 1,000 followers, which allows me to go live, which I'm doing right now. But I found the most success I've had in terms of making money is literally doing the podcast, the audio version of the podcast, and of course being monetized on YouTube. Even my website doesn't make the money that it used to make, just the regular advertising. So if you're looking to grow your side gig, your web presence into making money, this is probably not the podcast to follow because we don't make a whole lot of cash. We are sponsored and endorsed by Dubby. I don't know if endorsed is the right word, but we are partners. And if you use my code that's in the bio of this video, you can save 10% on your W purchases. We also have a merch store which has t-shirts for sale. That's also available in the link below. But growing your presence, yeah, I do believe that social media is very helpful. I feel like I have a great following on Twitter and Facebook. I just don't see Instagram is something that I want to succeed. It just hasn't been such a good, hasn't really done well in helping me convert. I don't know about TikTok. I feel like TikTok is a great tool. I don't know how to use it. But Instagram, like I said, it's crazy. Like I currently have a video now that has over 50,000 views, but I only have like 800 and some number of subscribers. So it's difficult, but I'm learning. That's all this is a process in enriching our education, right? Scoob's here. I said Willie's here. Dave Scooby says, make sure to like and share, help grow the show. Yeah, comments are also appreciated. It helps with the algorithm. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You guys are a blessing. Thank you. Media M5 says, now many go-to websites anymore. Almost every turns to social media. Nah, that's why I shut my site down years ago. Yeah, I get that too, Mike. It's hard, but I've got two really great guys helping me out, Chris Flackett, and some of you guys might know Lamb some. I really have been helping create content for the website, and I don't want to let go of it because it's been such an important part of my life for the last 17 years. It's almost as old as my daughter now. So yeah, we're trying. But anyways, let's get to wrestling, right? That's why you guys are here. We're not here to talk about J Cal's social media presence, although maybe that would be a fun podcast at some other time. And Mike, absolutely, man. That would be pretty awesome. I'd appreciate that. Since you guys are talking dinner, I know Willie said he's having chicken linguine, pasta salad, butter, garlic bread, Chardonnay. Willie's like a freaking chef over here, man. Kayfabe is making meatballs in the crock pot. Daughter wants garlic bread too. We might be having meatloaf. Last night I made a mean spaghetti, but tonight sounds like it's meatloaf. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to what we're here for, which is the NWA, and I'm happy to be here. Actually, I love talking NWA with you guys. We got a pretty good show, I think, this week on Power. I think it's going to be a lot of. It's going to be interesting because we got a TV title match. It's technically the first title match for Thom Latimer on television. He's technically had a defense outside of another promotion, but I don't believe the NWA is going to recognize that in terms of his level of Lucky 7 series, or is it going to really apply to his win-loss record in the NWA? But he did defend his title at I'm going to get the name wrong. It's partnered with Steel Domain, Midwest All-Star Wrestling, partnered with Steel Domain to prevent an event in Bloomington, Minnesota. There's about 500 people there, which is a huge number. And he took on a occasional NWA member in Garrison Creed, where he won that match, retained his TV title. Now, that's technically his first title defense, but I don't know if the NWA is going to recognize that or not. So, of course, this will be his first match tonight, and I think it's going to be a good one because he's stepping into the ring with none other than, Rhett Titus, a former Ring of Honor TV champion in his own right. They've had matches before, and the two have put on some pretty good stuff. I think this is a really good, going to be a really good show tonight. I'm reading some of the comments. Look at this. I have graphics. I just didn't use it, right? So we got Thom Latimer versus Rhett Titus. I think that's going to be a banger of a match. And this is a really stacked card, like I said, tonight. But I want to go to some of your comments because you guys are already talking about it. We got our pal, Jeremiah Plunkett, who says, Willie, he's coming over. JP is in the house. JP is a friend of the show. Therefore, we're a friend of the Ill Begotten. And Jeremiah is always welcome on this show. One time, JP told me that he had been listening to this podcast when he was in high school, which instantly made me turn into 100 years of age. Thanks for that, by the way, Jeremy. Let's see. Influence with J Cal. I mean, that might work. There's something to that. Look, I have done a lot of positive and negatives with social media. Now, somebody like you, Heebs, I mean, you've had a lot of success on Instagram, so maybe you should be teaching that class. But I really feel like they're for someone who is just starting into social media, I wish there was a direction you could send somebody and be like, hey, I have this idea. I want to talk about wrestling. I want to talk about comic books. I want to talk about whatever. And there should be a way that you could send somebody, okay, this is what you need to do. This is a good way to start. And I've been doing this for, gosh, like I said, 15 years now, 16 years. I think it's a lot of, interesting stuff. Mike is making hush puppies. Jeremy's having cereal. Terry says, is tonight Tom's first title defense? Yes, it's his first defense as far as the NWA is concerned, as far as the Lucky 7 is concerned, and all of that. But, and that's spam. I didn't mean to do that. I'll figure that out later. Retsky the jet ski. Yeah, man. Retsky the jet ski. Tom, not Tom. That's a different guy altogether. Rhett Titus, again, defending, challenging for the television title. And, Rhett Titus is a guy that I didn't think that the NWO was going to be able to hang on to, and I mean that in the most positive way. I just thought for sure he'd be one of these guys that ended up in the Ring of Honor deal with AEW. He's certainly talented enough, but their loss is the NWA's gain for sure. I mean, he recently just partnered with Chris Adonis as part of the Fulton's boys to take on the Fixers to win those titles, those non-active titles. But yeah, man. I mean, that's a huge deal, and I think that's really important. Anyways, the other big match that's happening this week is I want to pull up the graphic this time, so I'm not. I like using graphics. That's why Hebon makes them, right? Is so that somebody uses them. Ashley D'Amboise versus Kenzie Paige. Now, Ashley D'Amboise has been a killer in the NWA. She's really kind of coming to her own, but are we on borrowed time? Do we know if we're going to have Ashley D'Amboise with the NWA much longer? And really, this match could be very pivotal because a victory for Ashley D'Amboise could really screw up what is supposed to be a very crowning achievement when the NWA returns to Chicago for the first time in a long time. And they are crowning a women's television champion. A new title belt has been created. The title will be awarded to the winner of the finals. That happens on the pay-per-view at 312. And if Ashley D'Amboise wins this match tonight against Kenzie Paige, well, then certainly that's going to look kind of funny if she is unable to participate in the pay-per-view, considering that she's now under contract with AEW. Now, I know people say, oh, there's different tiers that she's not necessarily unavailable, but as far as I know, this could be trouble. So we really need Kenzie Paige to step up tonight. Kenzie needs to get that big W so we can avoid all that chicanery, if you will. I really think this is going to be an excellent match. The new Kenzie Paige, which I feel like I need to say that about every 6 weeks because you get this improvement from Kenzie Paige. And this is where I really applaud what she's been doing, whoever she's been training with. I know that she was working with Dr. Thom. I believe she's a product of actually, I don't know where she's trained at, but I know that she's gotten better week in, week out. You went through that transformation period where it seemed like she was constantly challenging Camille for that Women's World Championship and falling short every single time. And, when they say the phrase steel sharpens steel could not be more apropos for Kenzie Paige, as she stepped in the ring with one of the best and only got better for it. She took a different approach to her training. She's gotten in a much more physically fit. She looks great. I mean, but her wrestling skills have improved. When we see her in the ring, she is a professional. We talked about it a couple weeks ago when she wrestled against Kylan King. There was a move that looked like it didn't work the way it was supposed to, but instead of being frazzled or throwing their hands up in the air or doing something different or trying to redo the move, they flawlessly, seamlessly were able to continue with whatever they were trying and ended up working in a nice arm drag into the move, or maybe it was a DDT. My memory isn't as good as it should be, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that the abilities of Kenzie Paige have really been shining as of late. And I mean, that's great, because if she's going to be considered a top contender for that TV title, obviously she's advanced in the tournament. Defeating Kylan King was a huge victory. Defeating Ashley D'Amboise is certainly a feather in the hat. There we go. That I think she deserves. And if she is in Chicago, she should be challenging for that women's TV title. I can't say enough good things about Kenzie Paige, so I'm hoping that we get a great match tonight. And our pal JP is really like filling in some of the dots here. She worked some before, but essentially she's a Dr. Thom girl. And Kayfabe Heebs is saying the same. And basically, that's something else. Heeb says, is Kenzie Paige's dad a wrestler, promoter? And JP says, yes, KFW in the East. I think that's Kentucky Fried Wrestling, if I'm not mistaken. But she's really, like I said, Kenzie's really gotten into her own as of late. I love the tag team with her and Ella Envy. I still think that Pretty Empowered has a lot of room for growth. Of course, with the introduction of Roxy, I just think that they're kind of distancing Kenzie from the tag team scene, which is good because I really feel like at some point down the road, they're going to need to crown a new women's world champion. And I think, somebody who has the pedigree of Kenzie Paige, who's a former tag team champion and potentially a future television champion, could be that person. And so I really like to see them advance her career and put her in the right spot. So when the time does come, and hopefully it's not anytime soon, but when the time comes that she's appropriately ready to take that next step. So yeah, the next thing too is we have kind of a weird position for Mike Knox. You know, he came to the NWA by himself. He challenged Trevor Murdoch to the World's Heavyweight Championship, unsuccessful. Tried him a second time, unsuccessful, and then joined the ranks of Matt Cardona. As part of the Cardona family, has been a stalwart of that Cardona family since its inception in the NWA, has been the backbone, the muscles, the hired gun of Matt Cardona. No more. Just a few weeks ago on television, turning on Cardona, choke slamming him through a table in that match between Knox and Bubba Ray, Bully Ray, whatever you want to call him. So what are we going to get with Mike Knox? What's the future hold for Mike Knox? He's a guy who obviously has a history with previously working in the World Wrestling Entertainment, working with Impact Wrestling, but has never really kind of had that spotlight, that moment to shine. And could we see a Mike Knox, a re-energized Mike Knox, a re-engaged Mike Knox? Could we see a babyface Mike Knox? I think Mike Knox, I've just said his name like 6 times. I think Knox is a guy. It's funny because I actually watched Knox's early development when he wrestled for UPW in Southern California. He was part of that developmental promotion that was in SoCal, the same place that produced John Cena, the same place that helped bring Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian to the spotlight. But that factory that UPW was producing talents, I mean, we're talking about Nathan Jones, John Heidenreich, Sylvester Turkai, and of course, Knox was one of these guys. And Knox was a guy who, he had a lot of potential. He was kind of saddled with like a cowboy roughhouse type gimmick, not unlike a Trevor Murdoch or like a Mike's and Rick Bassman spot. Yeah, exactly. You know the story. He said Mark Smelly Bell. Yeah, okay, Mark Smelly Bell. Let's see, who else can I remember? I'll say some guys that you probably don't know, but Scrap Iron Adam Pearce spent some time there. Jesus Aguilera, also known as Aaron Aguilera. He was Jesus in the WWE, but Aaron Aguilera, the hardcore kid. We also, I saw guys like B-Boy, TJ Perkins, Rocky Romero, and Ricky Reyes, the Havana Pitbulls. I also was first introduced to Joey Ryan through the WWE development that was UPW. Let's see, Super Dragon had spent a cup of coffee with them. It's not where he really worked, but that he spent some time there. Who else? They had paired Nova with Frankie Kazarian there. It was a great little development. I don't know that it was exactly connected to the WWE. I think they just had a promotion and they were like, hey, Jim Ross, come evaluate this talent. And they did. They were able to sign a lot of guys through the main roster. Keiji Sakota, JP remembers Nova and Frankie tagging there, and they were a dope team. I believe they were called Evolution. I think so. And they were great. Yeah, they should have made a main roster push. I felt like they would have done well in that cruiserweight division of the WWE back in 2003, 2004, but never came to fruition for whatever reason. But yeah, they had a lot of great talent come through UPW. Mike Knox was one of them. Wow, that was a tangent I wasn't expecting to go off on. But Knox, I mean, again, we got this new Mike Knox, something we haven't seen before, potentially a babyface. And you look at the roster. If you're looking to partner him up with guys, gosh, I could think of at least 2 people that might make a lot of sense. Of course, Trevor Murdoch. If Trevor Murdoch and Knox were to become a tag team, man, they'd be rough and ready for sure. The other guy who I don't want to mess with the dynamic because I think he's perfect the way he is, but you got to think about Thrillbilly Mason, right? Silas Mason with Poil Damar. Poil Damar. Yeah, Poil Damar. I wouldn't want to mess with the chemistry, but those two certainly have size and strength and could be a formidable tag team if that's something that they choose to do. What they do with Knox at this point, I don't know, but we'll find out tonight. I guess tonight's step 1 in the Mike Knox 2.0 for the NWA. The next matchup we have tonight, because we've talked about the title match, we've talked about the women's number 1 contenders match. I guess we need to talk about Kerry Morton. Because, god damn, what happened to Kerry Morton? He went down to Mexico and came back a different person. Kerry Morton was beloved by all, the son of Ricky Morton, the 3rd generation superstar. He was everybody's best friend, and now, I don't know, he's kind of a dick. Have you seen some of his promos? I mean, he's calling out Joe Alonzo. He's calling out former champion Barrett Brown. Remember, Barrett Brown was the last junior heavyweight champion before the Lightning One era sealed all of the titles. So Barrett Brown his future was sealed as the junior heavyweight champion. They brought Barrett Brown in for the 70th anniversary show, and you kind of felt like, oh, hey, maybe there's opportunity down the road that if they reintroduce this title, that Barrett Brown will be included. And when Power came and went, Barrett Brown was nowhere to be involved. It was kind of surprising, but of course, Barrett Brown is an apt competitor. He's a good guy. He's been on the show before. Hell, he was down working with New Japan Strong while New Japan was working their way out in the NWA, in the United States. So Barrett Brown's a guy who, I mean, at this moment, he could come into the NWA. I don't believe there's any strings holding him back. And just the audacity of Kerry Morton calling out Barrett Brown in a very aggressive manner. Oh, geez, JP, don't bring that guy up, Mr. USA. We wouldn't know if he was because he's wearing a mask. Can't hear him. It's all muffled. But this new Kerry Morton, which Rick Del Santo is putting over, yeah, I love the new Kerry Morton. Kerry Morton's great. This is the Kerry Morton I've been hoping for some time, but damn, is he an asshole? Is it just me? How did I get out of focus? There we go. Is Kerry Morton a dick, or am I the dick for saying it? No, James, my camera did whack out there. I don't know what happened. But like I look at a guy like Kerry Morton, and now obviously he came down to Mexico. I saw him when I was at the concert for Mecha Wolf, his band Monster Wolf. He was there. He takes his shirt off. He's swinging around like a madman. He was drinking. He was drinking. Does Ricky know this? Does Ricky know that his son was drinking in Mexico? Am I still slightly out of focus? It looks better to me. You guys be the judge. But yeah, and then he's flipping off the crowd in Mexico and when it's Foro Sol. Do I have a clip of it? Let's go to the clip. Yeah. Kerry, what happened? I'm saying this, but I love it. I think this is great. I think this is the best thing we could hope for with Kerry Morton. It is an evolution of the character. He is not his dad, and I don't mean that to be insulting whatsoever. Ricky Morton is going to go down as one of the greatest baby faces of all time. Ricky Morton, outside of a couple of months in the York Foundation, was a baby face pretty much throughout his entire career. Yeah, his run in the WWE was a little on the shaky side, but he still had many years after his time in the WWE as a babyface. You know, he took that NWA World Tag Team title. He wrestled all over the world for it. And now his son, Kerry, you know, you can't expect Kerry. Good. That's a good call, James. I am narking him out. What a dick. Maybe I'm the asshole. But Kerry is out there, you know, he can't be his father. His father's one of a kind. So instead of trying to emulate his pops, what is he doing? He's blazing his own damn path, and I think this is incredible. Kerry ate the worm. Is that what happened? Oh, man, is that what happened? He ate the worm? I will say this. I got to have a conversation with Kerry during the concert, and he's a hell of a dude. Very, very kind to me. The first thing out of his mouth was, so are you safe where you're staying? Which I thought was great because in Mexico City, there's some shady areas of it. Of course, I was staying in one of those shady areas, but it was nice of him to acknowledge that, am I safe? Like I'm not going to come room with you, Kerry, but I appreciate the offer. Willie says tequila is in Kerry Morton's system while he was in Mexico. I saw something else up here. Tequila makes you call out a lot of things. But I love it. I really love the direction of the character. I think he needed this, and I think he needed it badly. I really feel like this will help define him as a character for the NWA. He's just not Ricky Morton's son. He's Kerry Morton, the future Hall of Famer. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see which direction this goes. Now, for the match as itself, I have the utmost respect for Mecha Wolf. I've been watching his career for quite some time, too. You know, people don't know this, but he has had a couple of, you know, this isn't his first go around with the NWA. He was working in the NWA promotions in Florida not too long ago. Well, I guess it is a long time ago now, but one of the junior heavyweights, one of the sought after junior heavyweights. And I really felt like he was on the precipice of becoming a competitor for the junior heavyweight division. I know he had a cup of coffee with the WWE. Spent a lot of time in Puerto Rico, and of course, wrestling in Mexico. Part of La Rebelión Amarilla, to be exact, as for a lot more than we can get into right now. La Rebellion is just a short way of saying all of his time that he's had in Mexico. But that dude is really has made that tag team title. I'm not going to say he's made it important because I feel like we've had a lot of good world tag team champions, but it was really unfortunate that we didn't get to see more out of Harry and oh, why am I forgetting his name? Oh, I look bad now. Harry and the Commonwealth Connection, but they were doing a great job as a tag team, and you know, I felt like the NWA had a lot to run with there, and unfortunately, with Harry getting sick or whatever happened, they didn't really come full disclosure about it. You guys are pulling it out. Jeremiah Plunkett, 450. Yeah, for some reason, I feel like Mecha Wolf had a bad injury in the WWE as Mr. 450. Right, correct. Doug Williams, you guys got me. Doug Williams, correct. Win. Doug Williams and of course Harry Smith, I think had so much potential. Even more than that, I kind of wish that they would have went with the initial plans of Nick Aldis and Doug Williams. I really felt like that could have been very, very interesting with their whole British Invasion, the reboot, the British Invasion 2.0 in the NWA. They could have had a lot of fun with that. But Mecha Wolf and, of course, Bestia 666 had to step in under a different set of circumstances, regain those tag titles after their successful run. Remember, they're the guys that took the titles to the United Kingdom. They defended the titles in AAA at WrestleMania weekend last year. Of course, finally got that title defense in Mexico with AAA. They wear those belts religiously. I mean, they wear them to Crash. You know, and Crash doesn't recognize the NWA World Tag Team titles. They're not titles that are defended there. But the tag team champions take so much pride in those title belts that they do wear them when they go to Tijuana. And now that they get to wear them when they go to Mexico with AAA, I really feel like Mecha Wolf and Bestia 666, La Rebelión Amarilla, great tag team. This match tonight is going to be surefire to be great because you've got Mecha Wolf, who, although he is bigger now than a traditional junior heavyweight, still is very fast, very agile, very quick. He's going to really test what Kerry Morton can bring to the ring. Of course, what Kerry's looking for is that flying knee. If he connects with that, you're going to see lights out for Mecha Wolf. And, you know, Mecha Wolf himself is used to wrestling in tag team matches as of late, so it'll be interesting to see a one-on-one match between these two. Of course, would I prefer to see another tag team get an opportunity against Mecha Wolf and Bestia? Sure, I sure would, but this will be fun. I think it'll be a good match. And we'll see what happens next. But that's going to do it for tonight's Power. Now let's talk about some ancillary topics because there's a lot going on in the NWA. I mean, we're marching to Chicago for 312, but, you know, we got to start looking at what's happening outside of the NWA as well. Oh, also, if you guys are interested, I have I'm going to put the link in the chat here. Our buddy Chris Flackett did a write-up about the matchup tonight between Kerry Morton and Mecha Wolf. I really think you should check it out if you haven't done so already. I know we're getting close to the start of Power, but he breaks down a lot of the past of Mecha Wolf and his ties to the cruiserweight style of wrestling, junior heavyweight division of wrestling. I think it's a good one to read. Heaves says, I'm low-key pumped to see if we get a sort of babyface Mike Knox tonight. There's a lot of potential of things you could do with the babyface Mike Knox. And the NWA right now is kind of got a shortage of baby faces. I mean, I for one am going to put Thrillbilly in that babyface side, but who else? Mims? I mean, do we call the Spectaculars babyface? It's kind of hard to call them babyfaces when you've got Rolando working as a heel and he's their manager. So it's kind of like, are they tweeners? And, you know, and as much as I love JP here, I know that he's also the ill-begotten with Danny Deals. I mean, they haven't been the nicest of guys too. So we'll kind of have to just figure out what's going to happen here. Connecting people through wrestling. Yeah, you worked for my buddy's promotion, actually not far from me. I was actually supposed to go to it, but didn't make it out there. You did the, now my buddy's promotion, whose name I can't think of right now, but out in Murrieta, Temecula area with Jacob Jarrell Diaz. That's my guy. I saw that you did some work for him. Hopefully, yeah, man, I think it's cool that you're getting some camera work. Keep plugging away, dude. I think that's pretty cool. But getting back to some more stuff to talk about, because let's, for example, talk about Matt Cardona. We obviously have a Matt Cardona problem in the NWA. And I say that not as a problem, but something we need to start considering and something we need to start thinking about is Matt Cardona, for whatever reason, still is connecting on the indies at a high level. And they brought him into the NWA to, yes, JP, of course you're offended. You need to come back on here. You need to come on to an Alliance Guys episode. Maybe I'll message you offline, JP, but let's do that. Pollo had fun with it. Yeah. Yes. You're right. Okay. Now let's get back to our problem with Matt Cardona, because Matt Cardona just went down to Australia. Funny thing is, the NWA is going down to Australia in a couple of weeks, and he just won the World Series of Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. What's considered a world title, I guess. It's been held by a lot of great competitors, and I will, now that I'm on the spot and could have totally done this earlier, I'm going to do it now and look up some of the names that have been connected to that title, that World Series of Wrestling Championship that is held by Matt Cardona. Let's see. Previous champions. Let's go all the way back to 2005 and talk about Rhino and Jeff Jarrett. 2007, oddly enough, the year that Bryan Danielson was in the NWA tournament to crown a new world's heavyweight champion, a tournament that many people thought he would win. And obviously, the advertising was on the wall. If it wasn't for the orbital injury that he suffered in Ring of Honor, he was going to win that NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. But Danielson is a former WSW champion. Billy Kidman, Ricochet, Austin Aries, who held those titles as part of his, quintuple crowns that he had as Impact champion and X Division champion and everything else. Brian Cage, of course, Johnny Impact, Johnny Mundo, Johnny Down Under, Johnny whatever. Austin Aries, a two-time champion. Robbie Eagles, Marty Scurll, Johnny Down Under, and of course, Matt Cardona today is the newest champion. He's already defended it against Brian Cage. He has that title now, and it looks like he'll have that title until October. And I'm wondering, what if they bring him into Australia and he could maybe defend that title? What if he and our boy Tyrus have a unification bout? I mean, I guess that's highly speculative thinking, but that I feel like this whole showdown in Australia, they're not connected to any one particular promotion. It's not like they're doing this in concert with All Australian Wrestling, our boy Pole Jump. They're not doing this in concert with EPW in Perth. They're not doing this with, again, the World Series of Wrestling down there in Australia. This is with talents not exactly connected to any one promotion. So it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. But with somebody of Matt Cardona's magnitude, if he were to go down to Australia as part of this tour, obviously he's going to help sell some tickets for the wrestling. But keep in mind, this isn't a wrestling venture as much as it is a festival, a series of concerts put on by the Smashing Pumpkins. It'll be interesting to see what they do, but I think it'd be kind of cool if Cardona did end up in Australia and did end up defending that WSW title as part of the series of The World is a Vampire in Australia. This is just speculative thinking, but again, I think it'd be kind of cool if it happened. We were talking briefly about our boy, about Kerry Morton, but Kerry Morton's got a title match coming up too this weekend. And if I had my notes here, I could tell you that he had a match coming up this weekend. But I know who it was against. I will pull it up here. Sorry for the delay. But he's coming off a title defense in Boca Raton. And as funny as it is for me to think of him in Boca Raton, but then also he brings the junior heavyweight championship down to the champions, a night of champions. He'll be defending in a triple threat against Kane Justice and Rick Reeves. I'm not too familiar with either one of those guys. There it is. Shout out to the Southern Territory Wrestling promoter, the Shark Carter in Perth. Hell yeah, man. You need to get JP back to Australia. Plunkett, are you going to go? Oh, that'd be awesome if the Ill-Begotten made that trip out there. I didn't even think about that. That'd be dope. That'd be dope for you anyways. The rest of us will be sitting here. But yeah, it'd be cool for you. I mean, a return to Australia would be only fitting for the man who wore championship gold in Australia. But getting back to Kerry Morton, he'll be defending in that triple threat against Kane Justice and Rick Reeves. Of course, we know that Camille's, I want to say this poor girl, but then you also have to consider, like, the fact of the matter is, like, this is what you want, right? This is what you want as a women's world champion, is to be jet setting. She's literally, we start talking about the nature boy Ric Flair. She's, wheeling and dealing, private jet flying, and, well, maybe not private jet, but, she had to go because of all the hurricanes and the storms that were happening down in Texas and the Tennessee area. It prevented her from getting a direct flight to Mexico. She literally had to drive to Atlanta to get to the big show in Foro Sol, the AAA versus NWA. A 24-hour crazy traveling schedule. That girl was beat before she got into the ring and still managed to put on a hell of a match with Lady Flamer. But then, took some time off. They were in Mexico celebrating, her and Tom. But now she's flying back to Baltimore. She's going to be training this Thursday in Baltimore. And then Saturday she'll be in Philly at the Icons of Wrestling. They're doing an autograph signing. And then at the Battleground promotion later that evening, she'll be defending the title against Viva Lone Star. I don't know a whole lot about her, but this is, again, Camille's return to the ECW arena, the 2300 arena in Philly. I mean, this is big, and it's not the first time she has been there. She's had other matches there before, previously defended the women's championship there before. So this is again another big night for Camille. And then her and Thom and Natalia Markova are all heading down to the Lucha Libre World Cup in Mexico. CJ originally was supposed to be part of that, but she has been replaced. I do believe it had something to do with immigration status. I don't know if she was able to compete in Mexico. I don't have the details. I know the AAA posted something that was in Spanish, and I'm not that good in my Spanish yet. Although my Duolingo scores are going up, I've learned 250 words in Spanish. I still can't read legal documents from Mexico. I almost got stuck there because I couldn't read the immigration papers correctly. But yeah, it was, when you think about just the work that Camille's putting in representing the National Wrestling Alliance, and then of course this AAA World Cup, it's a huge deal, man. I mean, for the NWA to be presented as the same vein as AEW and the same vein as Impact Wrestling. I mean, you guys saw the poster with Camille. Do I have it here? I don't know if I have it. No, I don't have it. But to be presented in the same vein as Deonna Purrazzo and Jordan Lynn Grace, I mean, that's a huge, huge deal, man. And those are two very well-respected women's wrestlers. And Camille's finally starting to get that respect put on her name. And damn it, she deserves it. She's taking those titles to Canada. That title to Canada. She's now defended the title in Mexico. She's a bit of a world traveler. She's been in the UK with the title. This is the Camille. Camille is the national treasure. People were worried that when Nick Aldis left the NWA, there was nobody to kind of carry that brand the way that he did. Camille is carrying that brand, therefore, and then some. So all the respect in the world for Camille, hoping that she gets to get out there and have a really good showing at the World Cup. Of course, Natalia Markova will also be representing the National Wrestling Alliance as part of Team Rest of the World. Same thing with Thom Latimer. I believe he's representing Team UK. And although she's not technically under an NWA contract, I still want to shout out Taya Valkyrie, who, still is in the hunt for the women's television championship. There's a lot of rumors, a lot of speculation that she might be facing Jade Cargill at the next set of Canadian-based Dynamite taping. So we might be seeing her commuting back to her homeland of Canada to defend that title. So yeah, a lot of good stuff happening in the NWA, and I think these are good problems to have. I mean, again, the Australian tour 312 is right around the door. I'm hearing rumblings about the Crockett Cup. Of course, these are all good things. And then, of course, this NWA versus AAA, hopefully we'll see that soon as a Power Surge episode. I really feel like these are all positive marks for the NWA. And I'm curious as to think, what do you guys want to see next from the NWA? We have a full chat room. We've got Jeremiah Plunkett's in the house. Yeah, man, what are you guys excited about? What do you want to see next? And yeah, have passport, will travel. Yeah, I mean, it'd be awesome to see JP out there. I know that they, what we had. I know there's going to be a difference with this Australian taping, and I know, I mean, when you were looking at the. Let's be honest, Vampiro and Blue Demon Jr. are not the names that they used to be, even in the world of Lucha Libre, but they still carry a lot of value in terms of professional wrestling. What's going to be interesting to me is when the NWA does make its mark in Australia, what kind of wrestling are we going to see? Now, obviously, the show that's being built, again, it's for Jane's Addiction, it's for Emil and the Sniffers, it's for Red Hook. But what I want to know is, what kind of talent are we going to see out of Australia? Who who will be those guys to step into the ring with the NWA? Obviously, we would assume that Tyrus will be defending the 10 pounds of gold at some point on that Australia tour. We would assume that Camille will be defending the Women's World Championship. And again, we would assume that La Rebellion will be defending those titles. But, like, are we going to see La Rebellion versus an Australian version of TMDK? You know, will Chris Weiss be making his mark in the NWA? Will we be seeing Robbie Eagles in an NWA ring? I mean, there's so many questions that I'm very curious as to what's going to happen. And I kind of want to hear what your guys' takes are. Willie says, I want to see the World Heavyweight and World Tag Team titles defend their titles around the world. We're getting that, Willie. I mean, now more than ever, Australia's got 4 nights of wrestling, I believe. Let's see. Let me pull that logo up again because I don't remember. Australia has I don't have dates. Perfect. I think they have like 3 or 4 days of concerts and wrestling at that event. I wish I had dates there. No dates. So, I mean, you're going to see, you'll see the world title being defended there. You're going to see the tag titles defended there and probably the women's champion as well. What other matches we see, I'm not really sure. And of course, when like you start looking at potential matches to see in Australia, I mean, you look at, I'm trying to think of who could be there. Like, I don't know. I would think somebody like TMDK, other wrestling promotions in that city, not in the city, in Australia, you've got RCW, you've got WR, you got ACW. I mean, there's a lot of promotions out there, but I don't know, are we going to see Hartley Jackson? Let's see. I'm drawing a blank on names. I don't know. So it'll be interesting. And will these guys be at the same level as our NWA talents? Like, what can we expect? I guess there's just a lot of unknowns for this Australian show, but we do know that 312 is starting to come together. We have some matches already announced. Chris Adonis gets his shot at Tyrus. He's cashing in. We're going to see La Rosa Negra take on Camille for that women's championship. And we also know we'll have the finals of the women's TV title tournament, which, it's going to be either the winner of Ashley D'Amboise and Kenzie Paige tonight, taking on whoever wins between whoa, my brain just stopped working. Well, whoever's in the other round. Man, you guys just saw my brain shut down in live action. Dave Scooby says, will Outback Jack be there? No, I don't think he will. I don't think Shane Haste will be there. Maybe Mikey Nichols. And I gotta admit that if they can bring Mikey Nichols into this, now you're talking. If they can get Robbie Eagles and Mikey Nichols and Hartley Jackson and Alex Kingston, who else do I know in Australia? And let's go. Let's get some of the Southern Territory wrestling guys out there. Maybe the Shark can show up. Maybe TNT could come out of retirement and challenge Kerry for the junior heavyweight title. I mean, there's a lot of guys who certainly are significant and could definitely make these matches a lot more interesting, but I don't know what we're going to get out there. And it'll be interesting to see what it happens, But again, that we're weeks away from that. 312 is coming up. We still have there'll be TV tapings, I believe, the Saturday following. I know that 312 is the same weekend as Easter, so I don't believe they're going to be taping on Sunday. I think they'll be taping 2 sets of TV tapings on the Saturday, and then the speculation is Crockett Cup. And, you know, that's something that maybe next week we can start listing off the tag teams that we hope will be in Crockett Cup. Obviously, you know, front runners will be the ill-begotten Alex Taylor and our boy Jeremiah Plunkett, because let's be honest, Alex Taylor and Jeremiah Plunkett deserve a little bit of shine going on here. Taylor has been amazing as of late, and I really thought Taylor was going to win that junior heavyweight title at Nuff Said, because he looked great. But of course, his bread and butter with Danny Deals and our boy JP, that ill-begotten, maybe they can make a run at those U.S. tag titles now that Kazana and adorable Anthony Andrews have those belts. But I think that's going to do it, guys. I do appreciate you being here on this Tuesday. Of course, we're here each and every Tuesday to talk to you about wrestling, especially the NWA. Oh, real quick, breaking news, if you guys haven't heard yet, for those of you who follow United Wrestling Network, of course, Derby City Wrestling is coming. Their first TV taping is March the 26th, and already have announced a world title match in Danny Limelight taking on Rocco Bellagio. And again, that's going to be taking place in Louisville, Kentucky, for Derby City Wrestling, again, March the 26th. This is going to be a United Wrestling Network title match. Derby City Wrestling is an offshoot of course, the United Wrestling Network brand. Dave Marquez has been working out there, and you know, this addition to the United Wrestling Network family. Now you've got United Wrestling Network, the Primetime Live pay-per-view series, of course, the television show Championship Wrestling that combined the markets of it, Championship Wrestling from Atlanta, Championship Wrestling from Arizona, of course, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and now combine that with Memphis Wrestling and Derby City Wrestling. Things are really picking up for United Wrestling Network. And, of course, we are going to be doing another live Other Lines, guys, tomorrow night at 3 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific. That'll be Jeremy, Dave, Scooby, and, of course, the Alliance Gold, Tim. They'll be talking all things NWA. They'll be recapping Saturday's USA Surge. And then, of course, on Thursday, DKM, myself, and Jaden will be talking about NWA POWERRR and continuing on this conversation of all things NWA. I do appreciate you guys being here each and every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Remember, merchandise is in the bio. We have a new shirt. If you guys haven't seen it yet, it's the Fantasy. The Flying Phoenix Fantasy, if you want to check that out. And again, that's going to do it for us. Again, appreciate you guys being here. And next time, we'll see you at the matches. Thanks for checking out the Pre-Party, a presentation of Alliance-Wrestling.com. You should hit that subscribe button and join our community. I also want to remind you that we recap NWA POWERRR every Thursday at 8 p.m. in the live stream. We try to stay social, so find us at the Alliance blog. And until next time, we are the Alliance.